Fine, fine. Sorry guys, okay, actually I'm out of station, but still I'm trying to cover the demo session for you guys. Okay, for the Monday there will be no issues. Yeah. So consider this is an application. Overall join today. Please listen it properly. Okay. So this is some application. Maybe I will just name this application as in my name. Okay. Maybe Arshil.com is an application. Okay. So whenever we open the application, for example, you open your Facebook. Okay. So first, what page? Login page. Then it will enter you to the home page. Then if you click on a settings, it will take you to the settings. If you click on a about profile, it will take you to the about profile page. So on. If you click on a photos, it will take you to the photos frame. So on, right? So or else you open any of the other application, you will be having a like a home page and yeah, about page and contact and maybe services. Okay, so on. Okay, inside any of the web application, we will be having a multiple features or functionality. So in functionality testing terminology, what we can call for this? So yes, one feature or one module or one functionality. Okay, so in API testing terminology, we can call it as a resource. Okay, this is one resource. This is one resource. This is one resource. This is one resource. To eat this particular resource, we require a particular endpoint. Okay. To eat this particular resource, we require a particular endpoint. So now I want to reach this home resource now. Okay. So I want to reach this home resource. It's like for example, you have to reach one particular home. In that particular home you have to go to the particular room. Okay, in similar way here also you have to reach to this home resource. Okay, so how you will reach? So first you have to start with the protocol. Okay, so why you have to start with the protocol? See, whenever you are accessing any of the web application, okay, so there's two protocols. That is, one is HTTP and one is HTTPS. I think we have already discussed this. Okay, so maybe all the demos videos will be available in the YouTube. Okay, once you go through that, HTTP and HTTPS. Okay, so the browser level protocols are these two. Okay, either you need to use a STP or HTTPS. Okay, these two only supportable for the browsers. Okay, not any other. So we have many protocols in market. Okay, like FTP, SMTP. Okay, so but based upon the action we are performing, if we are performing a file transfer activity, okay, within the particular network, if we are transferring the file, for example, let's take an example, Google Drive. Okay, so I have stored something in my Google Drive that I have to share with you all. Okay, so while storing the I means while storing the documents and while sharing the documents internally, file transfer protocol plays a role. Okay, so based upon the levels that we are performing, protocols differs. Okay, so here, since we are working with the web applications, okay, so browser only supports other things. Okay, so HTTPS and HTTP is supportable from the browser. So now, okay, you can ask me the question, why there's not two? Okay, why there's not two HTTPS is there, HTTP is there? Then when to go for the HTTPS, when to go for the HTTP, and why we have a two protocols? How we can decide which one we have to use while we are accessing any of the application, which one we have to use, or whenever we are getting APIs, how we can consider this? Okay, that is the question now. Okay, now tell me, anybody is having a idea? What is the difference between these two? When we have to go for this, when we have to go for this? Mm, Yeah, quick. If it is wrong, also no problem. Just give a try. Let session to be interactive. Otherwise, early in the morning I will get sleep. Seriously, hardly I woke up now. And one more doubt I will get. If you're not speaking means I will get that out like whether I'm audible or not. Hmm.
First one is HTTPS stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol Secure.
Okay.
And
Hypertext.
another one is Transfer
Huh.
Protocol.
Okay. Okay. So when to
Another
go
one
for
is
this?
Hypertext.
When to go
First
for this?
one is
When security is provided, then we go for HTTPS.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Yeah. See, so guys, just observe. So we call it as okay, for example, whenever you start working with the API, we call it some operations like a CRUD operations. Okay. So CRUD operations. Okay. So nothing but business operations. Okay. So CRUD operation is nothing but business operations. Hmm. Okay. So what is this CRUD operations? So C stands for creation of data inside the server. R stands for reading of data from the server. U stands for updation or addition of data inside the server. Okay. And D transfer deletion of data or from the server. Okay. See, you just consider, just imagine any of the application. So suppose you are, going to the STFC bank, any of the bank. Okay. So what you will do usually, what's your activity inside the bank? This is what, right? First, you will create your account in the bank. Okay. Maybe whenever you are, you want to know what is your current balance or what is your, if you have applied for anything, if you want to know what is the status of it. Okay. You have to read that information. And after that, say suppose you have changed your mobile number or your address or your company, so on. Okay. Maybe you need to edit or you need to update your information. Okay. So by the time, so how it is, or else, maybe you have done some transaction. Okay. So, you want to check now after updation of the transaction detail, how it is, what is my account information, means what is the balance. Okay. Then maybe, you asked some service from the bank and you asked some percentage of, loan from the bank, but they refused to give you and you are fed up with the bank and you're telling them that, I will close the account. I mean, no, I don't want your service. I will just close the account. So by the time what you will do, you will delete your account there, right? So this is what usually the CRUD operations are the main operation usually we do with all the application. Okay. So now, say suppose now you're creating your account. Okay. And while creating your account, obviously you will give all the confidential information. Okay. So while creating the account, you will provide all the confidential information. Like you will give your username, password, maybe your, yeah, other information like Aadhaar information, so on. You will give all your confidential information. If whatever the information you are giving, like, username and password kind of thing, if it is that information is, freely available in the browser, means if everyone is able to see that information in the browser, means if it is not masked. Okay. So everybody can able to see your information and can take that and can log in, right? Whenever you are performing a login activity, I can also see your data and I can also log in that if it is not masked means. Okay. Means if you are not sending it securely. Okay. So whenever there's a confidential information that we are dealing, so always we have to prefer HTTPS protocol. Okay. So if just retrieval activity from the server, if we are not sending, from our user end, if there is no any information sending confidentially, just we are retrieving some info from the server means, then that is okay to use HTTP, because we are not sending any confidential information to the server. Okay. But it's not like only we have to use the HTTP whenever we are retrieving the information from the server. We can use any, we can use HTTPS also in that case. Okay. But whenever we are sending our confidential information, then it must and should we need to send it very securely. Okay. So security matters a lot, right? So we have to use the HTTPS. Okay. So this HTTPS, okay, this HTTP protocols, they are keeping some rules. Okay. Means if they are using this protocol, they have to follow some rules here. Means how the application users have to access. Okay. If it's like, if you are using my HTTP protocols, I have some set of rules. In that way only you have to access the application. So for example, like, it will start from here. HTTP S starts, and here, okay, I need to access to the application of Harshil.com. Okay. So I will go here, Harshil.com. Okay. Now I will reach to the home. Okay. So HTTPS is here, and here domain name. So domain name is nothing but your application name. Okay. So your domain application name is nothing but your domain. Then I am reaching to this resource now. Okay. So now you can ask me the question like, why I need to write a domain name here only. Okay. I will write the URL like this. I don't want to keep that ashil.com starting itself immediately after the protocol. I will first go to the resource, then I will call this. Can I call like this? Is it a valid? Is it a valid?
Invalid.
Invalid. Okay. How you can say that is invalid?
So we need to enter to the Harshil.com, and then after in Harshil.com home resources is present. So we have to go with our first URL.
Okay. 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 Yeah. Okay. So this protocol is also always demands. Okay. This HTTP protocols always demands immediately after the protocol. Always it must be a domain name. Okay. Because it is demanding that. See, if you are using my protocol, you have to follow whatever the rule I'm setting. So like that, it is just giving us the rule. Okay. So protocol is nothing but set of rules. Okay. So immediately after this protocol, see in interview in multiple choice questions. Okay. So this is what they ask you. That's why I'm searching out. Okay. So sometimes you may get confused. Someone, the one who is now, jumping towards automation or all these things, or if you're a fresher, okay, don't get confused. See, immediately after the protocol, it should be a domain name. So they will give you 4 choices and they will tell you which one is valid. Okay. So after the domain name, then it will be your resource. Okay. So here they will give you like this and they will give you choices and they will tell you to identify the valid one. Okay. So this is the rule that is given by the protocol, but in general, okay. So you just also think of it. Okay. For example, you want to reach to your room inside the home. Okay. Means in your home, there is a room, you have to reach that. Without reaching the home, how you will reach your room, right? In the similar way, without reaching the application door, how you will reach to this, services, means which this functionalities or these resources, right? So first you have to enter here, then you have to go here. Okay. See, inside the network, there are a lot of applications, right? See, consider this is in a network. Okay, this is in a network. Okay. So here we will be having a Harshil.com on application. Here we will be having a WhatsApp. Here we will be having a Twitter, Instagram, and GitHub, Jenkins, and whatever we use, Jira. So on. Inside the network, all the application is dumped. Okay. So okay, maybe in this application also we have a home feature. In this application also we have a home feature. In this application also we have a home feature. Okay. So immediately after the protocol, if we call the home feature, immediately after the protocol, if we call the home feature, don't you think this is an ambiguity? Means confusion. Means which home it has to call now? Because in all the application they have a home feature. Okay. Home feature in all the application they have which home it has to call now. So that's why, because inside the network we have dumped with many applications. Okay. See, billions of applications are there, right? So now what we are telling, yes, after the protocol, please go to the ashil.com application. Inside the ashil.com application, access this home feature. So we are calling so. Okay, so then there is no any ambiguity, even though million and billions of it there inside the network. I'm specifically calling ashil.com. Okay, and remember this. Okay, I'm calling this particular application, and it's not possible to duplicate the application name, means domain name. Okay, because if I am defining like arshil.com means for this arshil.com, there is a particular IP address. Okay. So now tell me one more. This is also interview question. HTTPS and some IP address of this application /home. Okay. So is it a valid?
I think it is valid
Uh-huh. How do you say that? How it's valid?
because Harshil.com has its own IP address. So
Hmm.
so the domain name because the domain name gets converted into IP address at last internally, so we can use, I guess, but I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm. You are correct. Okay. So this is what, guys. See, each and every application as having its own IP address. Okay. So while accessing the application, it's not like, for example, now you just, today you just go and give a try. Okay. Instead of, typing like a facebook.com, provide the IP address of the Facebook and launch it. And just check whether it is opening the Facebook or it's opening any other application. It has to open the Facebook only because the IP address has been fixed for the Facebook is a fixed only for the Facebook, not for any other application. So even if we accessing the application by using a IP address of the Facebook, it has to launch. Okay. So this is all like a basic idea. Okay. Because whenever you are talking about the backend service, whenever you are trying to learn the API testing, all this basic idea you must be having. Okay. Yeah. So this is how we will have to access the service functionalities inside the applications. Okay, so this is like a this is application, and if in order to access any of the resources inside that, this is one simple URL. Okay, so now in this now tell me, carefully observe and then tell me. Okay, in the services mm, I have I have mm, I have call service. Okay, I have call service, but inside that car also you water service and oil service, water service. I will just randomly write it, okay? Mm, fuel as just random services name I'm writing. This is a car service. Now tell me, okay. So whenever I'm going to the service resource, then I have some multiple options over here under the car service. Under the car service, again, these three are the options. Now tell me, if I want to take a water service, how do I go that? Carefully observe the option, then tell me. Huh. Tell me the URL.
Harshil.com.
Okay. HTTPS. Okay. Harshil.com. Okay.
Then slash then services,
Okay. Services. Okay.
then car service /car service.
Slash car service.
Yes.
Okay.
And then water.
Okay. Then slash water.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. This is who has answered this. Who is that? Who has
Rajat.
answered this?
Rajat.
Rajat. Okay. What about others? Rajat. Okay. What about others? If it's wrong, also no problem. Just give a try. Hmm. Quick. I need to finish it off JSON concept as well.
It's the same thing, Harshil, from my end also. I was also saying that.
Okay. From.
Same from my side.
So the same from you.
Right.
Okay. Okay. All are same. There's no any different answers. See, I want to just to the service resource. Inside the service resource, I'm opting call service. Okay. But call service having a multiple options here by using a water, fuel, and so on. Okay. Multiple options is available, but in that option, I need a water service. What do you guys think?
Maybe we can add as a path parameter. Our service is equal to water.
Okay.
And
So which yeah. Yes, tell me. Path parameter or query parameter. Okay, now I will tell. Yeah. So whatever you guys have now, before Rajat, whatever the Rajat was said, this is going like a path parameter. In the path itself specifying the information. But now, okay. HTTP has, I'm reaching to my application harshil.com. Then I'm reaching to the resource now. Okay. This is my resource. First I have to enter here. Then my control is going to here. Okay. Services. Then in this, I'm opting a option card service. Maybe there is a multiple services, card service, engine service, so on. Multiple services we have. Okay. But in that, I'm opting card service. Okay. Okay, I'm going a card service. So in that, I have a multiple option. Can go with the water, fuel, and engine. But I want a water. Which one is, which one is suitable? This one and this one.
I think second one,
Okay. Why to go for the second one?
because this is under car service. There is 3 to 4 options. So when you choose, when you go to that options, then I think second one is suitable.
Okay. So this is what I was telling. Okay. This is what you have to understand. Okay. See, services is my resource. Under that resource, see, these are the multiple options available. Okay. So in that option, so we need to filter according to our requirement. See, for example, car service is there. Okay. But right now, I just want a water service. I don't want any engine service or fuel service, so on. I don't want that. What I want, so there's a multiple services available, basically. But in that, what exactly I want for that, or what is my requirement in that. So by that time, we need to go to the query parameter. The car service is equal to, I'm giving you a water. Now, right now, the car service which I want is water service. I don't want other service. So when there is a multiple option and we need to filter of it. So by the time query parameter comes to the picture. Okay. So path parameter means direct information about some resource. Okay. For example, that's what I said, right? See, you are all joined now. Okay. Maybe Harshil.com online class / now I will provide some student ID here. Okay. So that will go to the particular student to whom that ID is associated with. So like in the path itself providing some information, direct information. But query parameter when it comes to the picture means whenever we get an option. Okay, I will show you the example, with respect to APIs while we are working. I will show you the example as well. But understand now here how the query parameter and path parameter is working. Okay, is it clear now or any issues?
Madam, second one is query parameter na car service is equal to water.
Yes. This is query parameter. See, okay, guys. See, consider. So, how to identify the query parameter? It's a very easy. Okay, how to identify the query parameter is. Okay. See, whenever there is a question mark after the question mark, this is query string we can call. Okay. So, whenever there's a question mark after the question mark, whenever we are giving a key value pair. Okay. So, this is nothing but query parameter. So in the URL, whenever you are seeing question mark and the key value pair, after the question mark, whatever they specify, everything is a query parameter only. Okay. So this is how, in a multiple choice question, that this is what they may ask you. What is the query parameter specified in the below URL? Okay. So they will give you 4 options. And you have to identify after the question mark symbol, this symbol, whatever the key value pair they are given, that is nothing but query parameter. Okay, it's not like only single query parameter. You can also append one more query parameter, but in between the 2 query parameters, you have to make use of a symbol ampersand and just assume, okay, something I will give. Name is equal to some other filter I'm doing it here. Okay. For example, I will just take an example of a watch. Okay. See, there's an application like this, HTTPS. I'm reaching to Amazon application now, Amazon.com. Okay, then I'm reaching to watches. Okay, so right, watches means there's not only single watch will be available in the Amazon application. Multiple watches available with multiple brands, with multiple colors, right? But we will choose whatever we want. We will choose according to our requirement. Okay. So now in the watch, first thing is what is the filtration? Yes, I want to buy one watch, but what is my requirement now? Color of the watch should be maybe black color. Okay, and one more filter. So now whenever I give whenever I reach to the watches resource, and whenever I'm giving the color is equal to black, all the black color watch is visible. But now again I'm giving one more filter, because see, whenever I'm reaching to the watches resource, and whenever I'm giving a color is equal to black, all the black color watches is visible. I'm not able to select which one I exactly want. So what I'm doing, again I will do some filter, so that the count of the watches will reduce according to the filter. Again, what filter I will give? Brand. Brand is equal to ampersand I'm using. Brand is equal to maybe fast track. Again, okay? Again. Okay. See here, ampersand I'm using. If you want to give one more filter, again you can add this. Okay. Shape. Maybe square. Just case shape, maybe square. Okay. So like this. Okay. So whenever you open the watches, you will be having a multiple filters here, right side, right, left side. So you will just, for example, with respect to application, you will just go on and you just, you will click the check boxes there. But internally, whenever you are clicking a check boxes, internally, this is how service will be working. This is how service will be calling. Okay. You have to observe all those things from now onwards. Okay. Open the Amazon application. Open the Amazon application. Just check all the filters. While checking the filters, this side in the UI, just check how the service is calling. Okay. So this is how service will be calling by that time. You have to start observe, okay, how APIs are calling, how APIs are working. Whenever I select this option, how API is calling here, which parameter is calling. It's a query parameter, a path parameter. How query parameters are appending. Whenever I'm choosing a multiple options here in the UI of the application. Okay. Whenever you select something in the UI, in the backend, all these services will be calling. Okay. So this is how you need to start observe from now onwards. So now, this is all about URL, guys. Okay. Path parameter, query parameter, and yeah, you already know this, right? See, combination of this protocol and base URL till this. Okay. Combination of this protocol and base URL till this. This is nothing but base URL. Combination of protocol and domain name. This is nothing but base URL. We often use while we are working with the API testing. Okay. Till this we can call it as a base URL. Then it's a resource. Then it's a query parameter. So on other information will come. So once we start working with the APIs, you will understand much more about this. Okay. But remember, combination of this protocol and domain name is together, we call it as a base URL. Okay. So then, so you know that, this is one application. This is how I already explained in the demo session. All the demo videos will be available in the YouTube. Just you go through once. Okay. Okay. So this is one application. This is one application. Consider this is in a Java. Consider this is in a Python. Okay. This is in a Python. So you know that this application wants to communicate with this application. This application wants to communicate with this application. And if this application is responding, they are not able to understand each other because of change in the language. Okay. So to have a seamless communication with these two application, so we are integrating a intermediator, that is nothing but API. Okay. We are adding a intermediator, that is nothing but API. API is acting as a mediator in between the two application. Okay. So in this API, which language we are using in order to understand from the each and every language. See, okay, it is acting as an intermediator, but which language it is using, so that it is also understanding. It is also understanding means what kind of language it is. That is the question now. See, I'm speaking in English. You guys are responding in English. So we we could able to communicate each other. If I speak in Kannada, if you guys speak in Telugu or Hindi or so on language, how do I understand and how do you respond, right? So that is the difference, right? So for both of us, the common communication language now is a English. So I'm using a English. Okay. So here also for these two application, the common communication language will be we are making use of a API. For in that we are making use of a JSON. Okay. So JSON we are using now. So now you can ask me the question why you're going with a JSON. We have a HTML, XML, so many other languages we have. And previously we were using a HTML and XML only in order to communicate with each other application. Okay.
From
So
JSON is a language.
yes. Okay. So, okay, listen, first I will complete all those things. So we are using a JSON here. So why we have to go with the JSON? That is one question. Okay. So because we were having a HTML and XML. So other than the HTML and XML, why we are jumping towards this JSON now? That is the question. Okay. So JSON nothing but JavaScript object notation. Okay. So remember JavaScript object notation, which is derived from the JavaScript. Okay. So why this is so popular nowadays? If we can go anywhere, any of the job portal or any of the organization, so all are all are jumping towards the usage of a JSON only. Okay. Nobody is using a XML and HTML. I will tell you the reason now. Okay. The one thing is, okay, the JSON is a language independent. Okay. The first thing is JSON is a language independent. How it is language independent is the question in interview. If you say simply it's a language independent, they will not agree with that if you are an experienced candidate. They will ask you how we can justify it is a language independent, how we can say that. Okay, you're telling language independent, but how we can say that it's a language independent? Okay. So this is not stick to the single language, means which is not developed using any particular language. So you all know that maybe you have some exposure on the programming languages. Okay. So you all know that OOPS concept. Okay. But the basic OOPS concept is common for all the language. If you are using a Java, if you are using a Python, if you are using a so other language. Okay. So the basic OOPS concept is common for all the language. Okay. So in the JavaScript also, sorry, in the JSON also, we are not using any kind of big programming coding and all. We are using a basic syntax here. Okay. The basic syntax, which is common for all the language. By using those syntax, we are creating a data inside by using a JSON concept. So that's the reason all the language can able to understand the data that we are sending, using a JSON. Okay, this is the main advantage. And the syntax that we are using is very simple. Even the non-IT background people can able to understand immediately whatever the data we are sending. Means whatever the data we are creating, such a simple to understand and easy to write and easy to process the data, since we are not following much syntax as HTML and XML. This is the major drawback of the HTML and XML, because right, if you just open the Google HTML code or XML code, in order to process the single data, they use lot of tags. Okay. See, if you have to open one employee name also, opening tag, closing tag. If I want to open one employee phone number also, opening tag, closing tag. So much of tags is involved in the HTML and XML. So in order to process the tags only, it will consume much time in case of that. Okay, so we were facing a lagging issue. We were facing a performance issue whenever we were using the HTML and XML. Since this, JSON is using a very simple syntax, which is not taking much time to load the data. So obviously, it is not taking much time to load the data means which will, which will indirectly, which will, enhance the performance of the application. By considering all this, nowadays everyone are, using, even the developers, even the testers, everyone has started using a JSON because of its easiness, because of its, uh, simple syntax, and, because of its processing time. Since it is a very simple and it is not using any of the complex syntax, everyone are jumping towards the JSON. Now also here we are using a JSON in order to transfer the data, in order to send the data, in order to get the data. Okay, this is one example. One important thing is which is a language independent, and another one is very easy to write and understand, and it's following a very simple syntax. Okay, so this is all making JSON to work everywhere. Okay, this is why the JSON become, more popular now. So knowing about this data creation using a JSON is very important now. Okay, so how to identify the data inside the JSON now? So how to start creation of the data now? That is the question. Okay, so as name suggesting, JavaScript object notation. Okay, so we have to represent by using a object only. So how to represent using a object? So always JSON starts with opening curly brace and closing curly brace. Okay, opening curly brace and closing curly brace. This is nothing but an object. Okay, so inside this object, whatever the data you need to send to the server, or whatever the data you are creating, has to be in the key value format. Remember, has to be in the key value format. How it has to be in the key value format? Okay, I will just give you name, colon, Harshil. I'm separating by comma because I have to start a next data. Again, comma. Then here, just give the multiple this. And again using a comma. Here, just some information. True. Okay. What else? String and again here. Some information. Just checking as a null. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. See here, the JSON object started here and which is ending here. Okay. Let me move this. Okay. So yeah. So JSON object started here. So it is ending here. Okay. So how to identify the JSON object started? So opening curly brace and closing curly brace indicates JSON object always. Okay. So inside that we have a key value pair. This is the key. This is the value. 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 Okay. So now what you have to understand is, see, this is the key you know already. Okay. So this is the key. And this is the value. This is the value. Okay. So just observe what is the data type of the key here. What is the data type of the key here? As per your observation. See, this is the key completely. This is the key. What is the data type of the key?
Strings format.
String format. Any other format is specified over there? Okay. See, this is the key and this is the value. Okay. So whatever the data we are creating inside the JSON always should be a key value format. This is fixed key value format only we need to follow. But in that, the key always, okay, remember this is also interview question. What is the data type of the, what is the data types of the JSON key? They will, to make you confused, they will ask you what, what are the supportable data types for the JSON key. Okay. See, now listen. Always remember JSON key should be of string type. There's no any data type supportable for the JSON key. Always it should be a string type. Okay. And value can be one of the supportable applicable data type. So what are the supportable applicable data type? String and integer and array and object and boolean and null. Okay. So these are all the applicable data type for the JSON value. Okay. So this is the applicable data type for the JSON value. Okay. So these are all the applicable data type for the JSON value. We can see here, my name is of type Harshil, sorry, string. Okay. My age is of type integer. Okay. My hobbies is of type array. Okay, I have not specified object type. Okay, later on I will just give you the example. How we can go with the object inside the object, and how we can make the value as an object, and it's boolean, and it's null. Okay, so this is all the applicable data types. In this applicable data type, we can specify the values using any of the type. Okay, see here, the one good thing is JSON supports array type of values and object type of values. Okay, so array can be sent as a value here. See, array means, see, hobbies means obviously the single user not having a single hobbies. We will be having a multiple hobbies, right? So I can't use by the time multiple variables like this, hobbies 1, hobbies 2, hobbies 3. If I can write like that, if I have a 10 hobbies, 10 time hobbies variable I have to define here. But since it is supporting a array concept in the single variable only, I can pass this all the values. This is one good thing in the JSON. But same thing, if you want to achieve in XML or HTML means multiple tags you need to create. 10 of this means 10 of these tags you need to create. To process the 10 of these tags itself, it will consume the time. Okay, then processing time increases. Then application speed also slow down. Okay, everything related internally. Okay. So this is also a good thing. So now tell me, what are the applicable data type for the JSON key? Make use of a chat. What are the applicable data type? Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Is it a string? Is it not a integer, boolean, null? Okay.
Values can be another six kind of data type. Those are as you explain string, integer, array, object, boolean, and null.
Okay. 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 Fine. So what are the applicable data types for the values? Values. These are all the applicable data types. Okay. So this is what URL basic information. How will be the query parameter? How will be the path parameter? How we can access the resource? And what is JSON? Why we are going for the JSON? How to define what is the advantage over the JSON over the other languages like HTML and XML? Why we are not following HTML and XML? Why we are going towards the JSON to learn? And how to define the data inside the JSON, and what is the applicable data type for the key, what is the applicable data type for the values. Okay, so this is all about today's session. So tomorrow, I mean to say on Monday, we will be working with how to create a simple data inside the JSON. Then we'll jump towards how to create the complex data inside by using a JSON. Then how to create a nested data. Okay, all these three complements and how to access the data from the JSON. If this much complements, then we will jump towards the HTTP methods. Okay, and then Postman.
What about, madam, I have a doubt that I understood the query parameter. So what about the path parameter? Path parameter. Parameter.
Okay. Yeah. So anything else? Any doubts?
Madam, what about the path parameter?
Path parameter, yeah, I wanted to explain, no? Like, along with the path itself, providing some information. For example, see, you are attending the, see, this is in a platform and the online session. You guys have attended online session, okay? So in this, I will just give you the student ID is equal to some value I will give. Okay, student ID is equal to some value I will give. So along with the path only, I'm providing some information. Okay, else directly you can also pass the information. So along with the path, you're providing some information, not filtering any of the information. So that is nothing but path parameter. while working with the APIs, in tomorrow's session and all, I will just show it to you. Okay. So any doubt other than this, guys? So this path
Where
parameter and all is quite easy. I will just show you. They have a one more session in this meeting link only. So any queries?
where can we get before
No,
video
no, no.
from YouTube?
We should not include any space in between the URLs. That will not take that and all. We will be working anyhow. You will get to know. Okay. If you yeah.
Where can we get the before videos in YouTube or?
Madam, this is my first class. So before that, how many classes are gone? Hello. Hello.
Yes, tell me.
Hello. Yes, madam, I'm Rajat. This is my first
Yes,
class.
yes, tell me. Tell.
This is my first class. So how many classes
Okay.
before?
No, Rajat, not classes has done now. Just a demo session done. One demo session is done, and this is a second demo session.
Okay.
Okay.
Where can we get the demo session?
It will be available in the YouTube also. Demo session, they will keep providing the link if they ask you. If you ask them, they will give you the YouTube links and all. Even you can also go and you can search in the YouTube like API testing DURGASOFT, you will get it. Okay. Or all the demo session links they will be providing you guys.
Got it. Madam, difference, I think a difference between a query parameter and a path parameter is query parameter, in query parameter, there is only, there is called question mark. And a path parameter without question mark. This is the only difference.
Yeah, that is only the difference. But internally there's many factors, right? When we have a multiple values to filter, by the time we have to go with the query parameter. When we have a direct value to send to the server, then we can go with the path parameter. Okay. So you will get to know. I will be using a APIs, right? So there we will be working with all this query parameter, path parameter. You will get to know clearly in that. Okay. Anything else, guys? Anything else? Hello.
That's it, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, guys. Then they have a one more session in the same link. So we'll just what's that? Yeah, we'll connect again on the Monday. Okay.
No,
Thank you.
Next class is on Monday.
Yes. Yeah. Next session is on Monday.
Saturday, Sunday off.
Yeah.
This will be fixed, ma'am. Timing.
Yes, 7 to 8 is the fixed. Okay.
Postman, madam, we will read through Postman. Postman, can we download?
Yes, you can download. I will also be helping you to download once we start the Postman concept.
Okay. Is there any language needed for Postman? Annual?
No. Nothing needed. Just, you have to follow me. Whatever I'm telling, that is enough for the Postman. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, madam, total how many days, madam, course?
Course will be of 45 days.
Okay, madam.
Okay, both both Postman and rest assured.